Alright, last thing, guys. Well, it's actually a big one, but transition mechanism. This models how the cash rate actually affects anything in the economy at all, and the process that it goes through. This is a flowchart. The cash rate changes first, and then last things happen. So essentially, you got your main ones like output, GDP, employment, and inflation. They're like the big ones, but obviously it affects other things. So you got your main stuff. This is kind of included, but these are cool. These are the first things it affects, and these are kind of your channels. Expectations isn't really a channel, but interest rates. This is a flow-on of your savings and borrowings channel, and the what is it called? The cash flow channel, obviously. Yeah, the cash flow. Asset prices, stock of wealth, and asset price channel. And I guess expectations probably tied into this one a bit. And then exchange rates, which is the exchange rate channel, obviously. So each process goes down and affects something else. So let's say cash rate changes, and I think we're going to model them in all the flowcharts we'll do as a rise in cash rate, because I don't want to do growth, and I think a rise is simpler. So cash rate goes up. Obviously, the banks get charged more in their borrowing, so they pass that down to the people that actually are at the bank. So obviously, interest rates goes up. So what does that do? That would mean you have more of an incentive to spend less. So like you can earn more money when it's in the bank. So domestic spending down, consumption investment down, output down, employment down because people need less jobs, less inflationary pressure, wages go down because income's gone down, inflation goes down. That sort of thing. It's just flow on. The other idea would be if interest rates go up, it costs more to borrow from a bank or something. So like, there's no point starting a business right now because it's going to cost heaps more. Asset prices, that kind of refers to like houses and like big things you can like things someone can make money off. That sort of stuff. Expectations, simple. How you feel about the future. Exchange rates. That's a bit more complicated. I don't really want to think about it, but I will in a second. Yeah, alright. I'm getting into the flowcharts. I prepared the other side. Alright. The ways in which monetary policy actually affects aggregate demand. So, first one we'll model is, what is it called? Sorry, dogs. Saving plus investment channel. Kind of what I just talked about. I forgot I was modeling it, but anyway. So, essentially what happens is cash rates go up. That's how we're modeling. So, one thing that happens is what happens? So, you have more incentive to save the money because your deposit rates go up. Deposit rates up, you want to save. More money in the bank means you're making more money. Why would you spend it right now? Easy. What's the effect of that? That's pretty simple. Obviously, your spending goes down. So, let's say, what does it say here? Just spending down. Easy. This process here, Ms. Brown kind of mentioned it. It's like it depends on the elasticity of savers. I remember you did that like thing in year 11. Price elasticity is kind of like that, like how elastic, how much the consumers or the savers or whatever respond to changes in the cash rate. So, what does this lead to? Fall in level of spending means AD decreases. Easy, aggregate demand goes down. Output, or what is it called? Economic activity, down. GDP, down. So that would, obviously cash rate rising is a contractionary policy, that's why. Is a contractionary stance, sorry. The other side of it, because this is I think all of these have like kind of a they're a double-edged sword. So the other effect, cash rates go up if banks are charging more. That means it costs more to borrow. Cost of borrowing up. Easy. What is it? They do. People don't want to borrow money to start their business again. Investment. So spending down. AD down. Easy one. This kind of process, that refers to the savers, the people with bank accounts. This process refers to borrowers, so the people getting money off the bank, using it to start things and all that shit. Alright, next one. What are we doing? Cash rate. No, cash flow channel. Yeah, cash flow. Sorry guys, I do not know. I do not have much of an idea of what I'm doing, so forgive me. Right. Cash flow channel. One thing you might be confused about here, they're pretty similar, cash flow and the investment channel. I'll get onto that in a second. So, let's see. Where's my green mark? Okay, cash rates rise. One thing we have to remember about this is most households, consumers are a net debt. Like they have a net debt, so they owe more money than their investments get back. A lot of the time, people borrow money from banks. So people are in net debt. What happens is people in net debt. They owe money to the bank. They've taken out a big old loan, like a mortgage, and the interest rates suddenly rise. The bank has passed that on. So let's say mortgage. Mortgage rate up. What does that mean? More money is coming out of their account to pay that mortgage. They have less disposable income that they're going to use to stimulate the economy and all that stuff. So, interest payments up. Payments up. That a bit more clearer. Payments up. Disposable income. So income down. Should have run out of space. AD down. Easy. So, on the other hand, this is not as much because most people aren't in net savings. Some people are. Sorry, one sec. Oh, okay, yeah. So, the people that do, they have a net surplus, they're the ones lending money and all that stuff. So, they all of a sudden get more money, let's say, I don't know. They're lending money, so they're just getting more interest. Interest up. interest up. Know why? They've lent money to someone and now they're getting more money paid back. That means income up. Income up. A, D, up. So one thing you have to remember, that those are opposite to one another, but this channel, not channel, but this flow, much larger than that one. Like, this one's quite small. So the effect is AD up and much chunkier. Has much more of an effect. Oh shit, wait. Wrong way. I'm tired. Much more of an effect on AD. So this is cancelled out essentially. Bang, that's the effect. Easy. Probably, hopefully. Okay, what next? Jesus. Asset price channel. Ease. Cool. Lovely. Asset price channel. Whew. Okay. Oh, damn. I want the bloody cash rate up. Okay. Assets refer to, I mean, you guys probably know, any large thing that can make money. So, obviously, prime example is your house. So, I think I'll just model all of that. So, what does that mean? Cash rate up, obviously, bank cost down, mortgage up. Up. What does that mean? People paying more. The price of housing has gone up. People demand less for it. Well, not the price, it's actually just the cost of borrowing the house. Like, the house will still be $800,000, but instead of paying 2% on your mortgage, you're paying 5%. It's not any more, but in the long run, it's going to cost you more. What does this do? Demand for housing down. For house, I'll just draw house. I'm too lazy. There we go. Just a nice little house down. So, effect, house values actually go down. House value, I really can't be bothered writing. House value down. Not as many people want to buy them, so they're going to have to go. What does that mean? Your wealth has gone down. Even though you're not selling it, you're worth less. So, what does that mean? You're less, I don't know what's the word, like, incentivized, you're less likely to just go spend money in the economy. I mean, GFC, that's a collapse of the housing market in the US, and people suddenly didn't have a house, so, well, a house that was worth anything, so they didn't want to spend anything because they had no backup, no security. So, AD down, because wealth down. Okay, on the other side of it, something like shares. Let's see. So, cash rate up. That means shares go down because whatever's paying those also has to pay their debt. Easy. So, share returns down. What does that mean? Less demand. Demand for shares obviously goes down because you're getting less for them. What does that mean? Price goes down. Share price goes down. Down. Bing, bada boom, you're at the same spot. AD has gone down. People are less likely to spend because they're worth less, so why would you? Easy. That's... If you're asked about it, I'd probably say the mortgage one's a better one to go with. It's just simpler, like it just makes more sense. But yeah. Like, I would suggest going with that one. That's a good, simple one. Most people have a mortgage, so it's like a very effective way of showing why it changes, because a lot of people were affected by it. Okay. Okay, the exchange rate one's a bit ganky, I don't like it. Let's see if I can rise here. Perfect box square thing. So, yeah, okay. First step. Rising cash rate actually causes a rise in the exchange rate. So, basically, AUD equals more monies. More monies. So the reason... Scout, shut up. Shut up. Alright, so the reason this happens is because rising cash rates means investments are getting more returns. So all of a sudden, it just happens. So, like, you're getting more returns, you're getting invested, let's say some foreign person or bank or something can, all of a sudden the interest rate goes up. What does that mean then? They can then lend money to an Australian and get more money, like get more money out of them than they could, say, lending to someone in their own country. So, more attractive to foreign investors. So that was a bit explained, but basically, foreigner can get more money lending to an Australian than they could to someone from their own country. So suddenly, a lot of people want AUD. What does that mean? Demand for AUD is up. All of a sudden, it's worth more. Just the way the world works. So, what does that do? If one Australian dollar is worth more, that means it's more expensive to buy Australian products. So all of a sudden, X goes down, and what happens? All of a sudden, the overseas products of similar are suddenly much more competitive when compared to Australian things, because AUD is up, and the foreign currency or foreign product has stayed the same. So all of a sudden, M is up. What does this mean? Net exports, which is X take M, goes down. Goes down. What? Second, what is net or exports a part of? AD. So as a whole ramp. Yeah, you run AD equals C plus I plus G plus X take M. AD goes down as a whole because of it. So aggregate demand is less in the economy, and that has the flow-on effect. And it keeps on going and it builds up. Yeah, that's pretty much what happens when. That's how cash rate affects assets. Easy. Okay, I think that's all. I can't really be bothered doing any more tonight. I'm tired. Good luck. Yeah. See ya.